Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're doing great, as we're here with a video full of deadly poisons, luxuriant perfumes and blue blood, all of that as we're discussing the most expensive liquids in the world. Before we go any further, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future uploads. With that out of the way, here are the top 5 most expensive liquids in the world. 5. Chanel. Number 5. Coming in at number 5 is this appropriately named perfume by the legacy French fashion brand, Chanel. The story and background of this perfume is just as important in understanding its cost, as is the complexity and masterful way it was manufactured and advertised. Made by the famous French businesswoman and renowned fashion designer, Coco Chanel, the perfume was conceived by the official perfumer of the Russian royal family itself, Ernest Beau, who met the French lady in the early 1920s. Coco, who had been once a part of a nunnery, where she developed an affinity for the number 5, and so when Ernest presented his 1 to 5 concoctions to her, she picked 5, her lucky number. But there's more to it than the story as well. The perfume is said to be the world's first abstract scent, meaning it's not a simple extraction of one flower, but a delicate blend of over 80 different scents, all playing together with aldehydes that are supposed to enhance the floral effects as well as keep it airy. And described by the designer as a woman's perfume with a woman's scent, the perfume has become an icon as well as a household name, and with the smallest of the smallest bottles costing over $100, it is the single most expensive perfume to date. And with an estimated $26,000 per gallon, you won't be buying a lifetime supply anytime soon. 4. Horseshoe crab blood. Next up at number 4, we take a sharp turn from high luxury perfumes into the world of medicine, alien-looking creatures, and even more alien-looking blood. Every year over 600,000 horseshoe crabs are captured by the medical industry, who drain them of 30% of their blood, and over 30% of the crabs don't even survive the process. And the blood is not something regular either. Instead of the commonly known red color that is found in all animals, it is a bright blue in color, and that is due to the presence of copper instead of iron in it. But that is in fact not the reason why it's so expensive, costing $60,000 per gallon. The reason why this substance is so expensive is an entirely different one. As it turns out, scientists don't really have a way of knowing if a sample is 100% germ-free, and that is a huge problem when testing treatments, and that is where the blue blood comes in. When a minuscule amount of LOL, a substance extracted from the blood, is dropped into a sample containing germs, it will immediately clot around them, which will help us identify key places where germs exist. This has earned the blood so crucial for developing vaccines, antibiotics and all sorts of medicines, and is why it's so expensive. 3. Lysergic acid diethylamide, or LSD. Moving further from medical marvels, we have the single most expensive drug on the planet, known chemically as lysergic acid diethylamide, or more commonly as LSD. And well, it's no secret, guys, LSD, most popular in the 1960s through to the 1980s, considered one of the most powerful hallucinogens out there, far more than marijuana or any such drugs. And not only are the effects more intense, they require a much smaller dose, costing up to $10 per microgram. A tiny hit takes a user on many hours worth of a so-called trip. The manufacturing plays a role too, as unlike marijuana or cocaine, both of which, although technical, can be made fairly easily, by comparison LSD is a strictly chemical drug that has to be made by a professional chemist, and that hacks up the price. And finally, there is a legal issue. Unlike other drugs, the possession of LSD is a much bigger offense and a very risky operation for any seller, not to mention that if caught, the penalties are much more serious. All of that ends up contributing to the overall cost, and so according to most estimates, it costs $123,000 per gallon. Don't be fooled though, that 1 gallon could provide a 20+ hours of high-intensity experience for 55,000 people. 2. King Cobra Venom. As one of the largest and deadliest snakes in the whole world, the king cobra has significance other than its scary nature and terrifying size. The venom of this terrifying creature is one of the most deadly ones known to man, with a single bite capable of killing a fully grown elephant with a dose less than 500 milligrams. It is safe to say it is extremely potent and dangerous. The venom is of the type called neurotoxins, which interfere and block the transmission of neural signals, and this is one of the most powerful of them all. The effects range from paralysis to cardiac arrest, coma, and eventually death due to lack of oxygen. And all of that can take place in a time span of less than 30 minutes. There is also the matter of oanin, a significant protein extracted from the venom that is even more potent but has shown promise as a painkiller, as it is said to be 20 times as potent as morphine. All of that goes to say that this is one of the most powerful substances out there, and has important potential uses in extreme medical conditions. Pair that with the difficulty in acquiring the venom from a 14-foot-long powerful snake, the price gets pretty jacked, with a gallon costing $153,000 each. 1 Scorpion venom. By far the most expensive liquid on Earth, and easily the most precious biological produce, we have the venom produced by the deathstalker scorpion, native to the Middle East and Northern Africa. But what makes it so expensive is not the lethality, as unlike the cobra venom, one sting isn't enough to kill a human being. It is painful though, as researchers have estimated that it hurts at least 100 times more than a wasp sting. And if the difficulty wasn't already hard enough, it is exceptionally hard to collect, as each individual scorpion has to be milked by a person, yielding only 2 milligrams of the stuff at a time. But why go through all the trouble? Well, the answer lies in the uses, as it would be fair to describe it as a sort of miracle venom, with not one but multiple promising medical uses, from chlorotoxins to identify brain and spine cancer, choletoxin to fight a whole slew of bone diseases and much, much more. All of that combined with the difficulty to acquire it makes it cost $39 million per gallon. And is why it's the single most expensive liquid on the planet. Now guys, that was all for today. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below, and with that put of the way, I'll see you in the next one.